Hello everyone and welcome to GIR Golf. I am Jim and welcome to today's Golf Rules video, Red Penalty Areas in 2023. I'm going to show you in this video what your options are if you find yourself in a red penalty area just as I am here at home. I've got my golf ball. It's definitely inside a red penalty area, and there's options that I have according to the rules of golf, including an updated one that happened January 1st. Of 2023. Let's have some fun, show you what your options are. If you find yourself in a red penalty area such as I am here in this example, the first option that you have is option number one is to play the ball as it lies without a penalty. Now I can even go up here and ground my golf club behind the ball and touch the ground. I can also remove loose impediments such as leaves or sticks that aren't attached to anything. For example, I've got a leaf right here in front of my ball. I can remove that. Additionally, if I choose to play this ball as it lies, I could remove this stake, pull it out of the ground, play my shot, and put it back without penalty, because the stakes in red penalty areas are considered movable obstructions. Also, as far as movable obstructions, if there was a wrapper or from a candy bar or a golf glove or anything that's man-made that is loose, that is a movable obstruction, then I can remove that as well. Now, if you're in a situation where there is a cart path inside or a bridge, those are called immovable obstructions, and I would not get relief from there. But long story short, if I can play this ball as it lies, there's no penalty, and I would do this in this situation. My golf hole is the orange pole today in this video for all of our examples, and I would, to save a stroke, simply get up here and punch the ball out. Now additionally, I cannot bend or break anything. Now if my club hits it, that's okay. Like for example, I'm going to hit some of these weeds, but I cannot intentionally go up there and break anything out of the way. If I'm going to play it as it lies, just do the best I can. So I'm going to get up here and just punch out. All right, I got the ball back in play over there, and then there'll be no penalty for that for option number one. Option number two for red penalty areas, for a one-stroke penalty, I can take a drop within 2 club lengths of where my golf ball last crossed the margin of the red penalty area. In other words, where it last crossed this red line. I know that I struck the ball from this direction, and I'm going to estimate. And often you will have to just estimate where this point is, because you did not see it. I didn't see it. I headed up over a hill, and I'm going to estimate based off where my golf ball is that I crossed somewhere in here. I put a T down there. That is my reference point that I can mark out a 2 club length area, not any closer to the hole, and take my drop. Now that I've established my reference point, I'm going to take the longest club in my bag, except for my putter, which would be my driver. Most of you, that's going to be true. I'm going to go ahead and remove the head cover, and I'm going to roll the driver over and map out a 2 club length area, not any closer to the hole from this point, spray some lines down. I'll show you real quickly a good way to get some tees on the ground, and then we'll spray some lines. So I'll take my driver. I want to lay it in a way that I know I'm not any closer to the hole, and then simply just roll it over to get my 2 club lengths. And then I'll do that in a couple other places. I'll spray some lines here on the ground so you can see my dropping area and take a drop. Alright, you can see by the white lines that I've painted here on the ground to give you a visualization on the size of the area that I have to drop in here within 2 club lengths of my entry point. So at this time here, I can go and retrieve my ball and clean it and use that ball. I could even substitute and put a new ball in play. Often, you won't even be able to even find your ball in there. Again, you just need to estimate where you crossed, and if you're virtually certain you're in a penalty area, then you can work off this entry point in this example and others. So I'm going to pick up my golf ball, look it over, wipe it off a little bit. It looks in good shape, so I'm going to go ahead and take my drop at knee height. So I'm going to survey where I'd like to play this shot. Again, I can play anywhere in here as long as that ball lands in the relief area and stays in there, then I'm good to go. I can even stand outside of it like this. Drop it here at knee height because I really want to hit out of here. Ball landed in the relief area and stayed in there. It is not forward of that line, so I'm good to go. I can play my shot with a 1-stroke penalty for option number 2. Option number 3 for red penalty areas is to take relief on the back on the line. We call this the back on the line relief. It used to be called the backward extension. And how this works is, let's say for example, my reference point is up over here. This is where my golf ball last crossed the margin of the red penalty area. I estimate that spot to be right there. Now for option 3, what that means is I can draw a line from my flag, the golf hole, in this case my orange pole here at the house in our home driving range, and that reference point, and I can go back as far as I would like and take a drop on that line. So I want to come to about right here for me personally, just because I want to be able to get up over these trees, and I'll draw a line with my orange pole, that tee that I have in the ground, and I will drop at knee height on the line. This is the biggest change in 2023. I've got to drop on the line. So I'm going to do that. I've got my golf ball. I'm going to draw my line. I know that line somewhere in there. Drop it at knee height. Now, what the rules say, you may have noticed, I may have been blocking the view, that ball actually bounced forward. What the rules say is that we must drop on the line, and that ball must land on the line and not roll forward, backward, left, or right any farther than a club length. So I took some time and drew some white lines on here to kind of better illustrate this example. You'll see I have a white dot here that represents the spot that I chose on the back on the line. Again, I chose that spot. Once I choose that spot, the ball must drop and land on that line, and it must stay within a club length of that spot. It could even roll forward like it did in my example. So I chose that spot there. Wherever that spot is on the line, the ball has to land on that spot and then stay within a club length. It could even roll forward, something that's very strange in the rules of golf. In this case, it can roll forward as long as we drop on that line and it stays within a club length. Option number 4 for red penalty areas is for a 1-stroke penalty. Go back to the site of your last stroke and take a drop within 1 club length, not any closer to the hole if you're in the general area, or if you're at the tee box where you struck your ball last, then you can just re-tee it up anywhere within that teeing area, again with a 1-stroke penalty. Option number 4, let's say I was playing a par 4 in my example, and a lot of times you got to estimate this. Just be as honest as you can. I estimate, maybe you can see the divot you left, and I estimate I struck the ball right here. Now the rules of golf say that I get a club length to the right, left, and straight back where I can drop this ball. Very important to know that, depending on how bad of a situation you had that caused you to get in that penalty area, this may be advantageous for you to do that. I'll mark out an area. We'll take our drop here in the general area. All right, for option 4, I sprayed some white lines here to show you where I last struck my golf ball, which was right here. I get a club length to the right, left, and back to where I can drop this ball, as long as I'm not any closer to the hole. So I've mapped out an area. I'm going to choose where I want to drop. Drop the ball at knee height. The ball landed in there, stayed in there. Then I'm good to go in option number 4 with a 1-stroke penalty and hit my shot. Option 5 for red penalty areas, that happens occasionally. Again, this is not something that happens with every red penalty area, but some golf courses will have what is called a drop zone on a particular hole. It's important to note what your scorecard says. Also, if you're playing in a tournament, maybe the governing body of the tournament has put some drop zones on certain holes that normally aren't there as an additional option. This may be your best option yet. A lot of times these are up near the green, and it may be a better option for you. These are always a 1-stroke penalty in option number 5, if it's available. Again, this is not available by any means on every hole or even every golf course. Some golf courses don't have any of these, but you will see these sometimes. It's important to know what your options are. This is up here close to the hole. I would drop it anywhere here at knee height. As long as it landed in there and stayed in there, I would hit my shot, again, with a 1-stroke penalty in situation number 5. All right, let's review what we've talked about. Option number 1 for red penalty areas is that you can simply play the balls at lies without a penalty. Option number 2 is that you can choose to take a drop within 2 club lengths of your entry point, not any closer to the hole, with a 1-stroke penalty. Option number 3, you can choose to take a drop on the back on the line relief, working off your entry point and where the golf flag is, back as far as you would like, with a 1-stroke penalty. Option number 4 is to go back to the side of your last stroke and take a drop in the general area if you struck that ball in the general area within a club length, or if you struck it from the tee, go back and re-tee anywhere on that teeing ground you would like, again for a 1-stroke penalty. Option number 5, if available, you need to check this, is if there is an additional option for a drop zone. Often they're up near the green. You can take a drop there with a 1-stroke penalty, and that is your options in 2023 for red penalty areas that you typically will see. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this video. Hopefully this will help educate you on what your options are and not only play the game correctly, but help lower your scores. Thank you again. Remember to smile often, have fun. God loves you. We will see you next time.